The main question I get this time of year is, why is my grass not greening up? And although there are multiple factors that can go into that, I've narrowed it down to 7 reasons why your grass may not be greening up this year. But before I get into that, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Kyle, and I have over 15 years of lawn care experience, specializing in pre-emergent weed control and fertilizer. And I just enjoy trying to figure out what is wrong with a lawn. So when I get a phone call saying something is wrong with their yard, whether it's weeds or brown spots or whatever, I enjoy going out and brainstorming and just trying to figure out what's wrong with those yards. So if that's the kind of content you think you might enjoy watching, consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos, and I would love it if you were a part of that journey with me. So reason number 1 why your lawn may not be greening up is due to the soil temperature. So let's take a look at some of our temperatures that we've had these past couple of weeks. So last week we had our warmest week of the year so far. We were in the high 80s, and our nighttime temperatures were above 60, which is where you need to be for your lawn to green up. You need your nighttime temperatures to consistently be above 60 degrees. And consistently is the key word there. But let's look ahead at this week. So we've had lows in the 40s. There was one night where we had a low of 37. So that alone is going to hold back the soil temperature, which is also going to hold back the grass greening up. So it really has everything to do with the soil temperature. And look, I understand the frustration that people may have. So it's springtime, you're out in your yard enjoying the sunny, beautiful weather, and it just doesn't make sense to you why your grass isn't green yet. Also, some people like to compare their yard to someone else's yard, and that's not really the smart thing to do, because every lawn is different. You may have the same kind of grass as someone else, but your lawn is different. The environmental conditions surrounding your lawn may be like this, where the neighbor down the street may have full sun in their yard. So try not to compare your yard to someone else's, because it's just a completely different animal. Another reason your lawn is not greening up is because it went dormant in a sickly, weakened state. So here in my area in central Alabama, let's think back to last fall. So the entire second half of the summer and on into fall, we were in a drought. We had some just severe drought conditions. Lawns were just completely brown and tanned, not from dormancy, but just from the heat. A lot of drought stress was happening. So those yards went into dormancy in a weakened state. So there was a lot of damage that we were already getting. So when a yard goes dormant in a damaged state, it's going to wake up in that same sickly and damaged state. So keep that in mind. If you were seeing a lot of drought stress, heat stress, drought damage last fall, then chances are that's the same area that you're looking at that isn't green. Give it some time. We've had plenty of rain throughout our winter months, so the lawn has had time to recover, but it may be delayed when greening up. I feel confident that if you have Bermuda, that area is going to do just fine. It's when you have zoysia that has drought stress or drought damage that's really going to struggle coming out in the spring and summer. So just be patient, wait around and see what happens. If you were not able to water at all during that drought, chances are you may have some dead spots there just due to the drought-like conditions. Another reason your lawn is slow to green up is because of too much shade. There are different types of grasses that are more shade tolerant than others. So that's one of the main things you need to look at, is what type of grass you have along with your shade. Bermuda grass being one of the worst options as far as being shade tolerant. Zoysia grass is a better shade tolerant option, but Bermuda needs on average about 8 hours of direct sunlight, whereas Zoysia needs 4 to 5 hours of direct sunlight. And when I say direct sunlight, that's exactly what it sounds like. Direct sunlight hitting your grass. Now, filtered sunlight is something different. This is an example of filtered sunlight where sun shines through the trees. You know, it's still getting sun, but it's filtered sunlight. So what can you do if you have too much shade in your yard? Well, you know, obviously you can take down the trees, which is what was done here. This yard had many massive trees here, so they were taken down in the process of getting all that cleaned up. So that's going to allow a lot more sunlight back here. But tree roots are another option. Another problem. So trees are always going to suck up the nutrients before the grass. So it's going to be really hard to get grass to grow directly on tree roots like this. This is a massive tree here, so the tree roots just extend out so far. So trees can even cause issues with your grass in areas where you think are far enough away from the tree that it wouldn't. But it's not the base of the tree that causes the problems, it's the tree roots. And if you ever question yourself, if you look up at the branches of a tree and how far they come out, that's usually how far out the roots of the tree grow. So all this browning and the thin grass that you're seeing here is still being caused by these 3 trees here. So sometimes in life we have to self-reflect and, you know, look at ourselves and maybe admit that we were wrong in doing something. I know that's hard to do, and as humans we don't like to do that. But I say that because that brings me to my next reason your lawn is not greening up, and that is because you had too many leaves on the ground throughout the fall and winter. Now this is a sensitive subject because people don't really like to be told that they were the reason why something is going wrong. But I did see a lot of yards with a lot of leaves throughout the fall, and they just left them there all winter. I even had someone tell me they were going to leave the leaves there all winter to protect their lawn from freezing temperatures, but that's not really how that works. All of those leaves end up trapping moisture underneath them, which is a breeding ground for diseases and fungus in your grass. So that's not really the way to go about everything. Even when grass is dormant throughout the winter, it still needs sunlight and airflow, and all of those leaves just end up just choking out the grass and suffocating it to death. So that's a good reason why your lawn is not greening up. It will green up, but it's probably just going to be delayed. Soil compaction is another reason your lawn is not greening up. Now this particular yard also has a good amount of shade here. But over time, your lawn can just get so hard and compacted. It can be as hard as the driveway there. Whatever healthy topsoil that you may have once had could have eroded away, which is what has happened in this yard. You can see the erosion that has happened over time by the different layers here. This is on a hill. Whenever you see a lot of moss like this, it's just a good indication that your soil is compacted. So what can you do here? A core aeration would be helpful in a lawn like this. You're pulling plugs out of the ground when you do a core aeration, and that allows airflow and sunlight into the ground, and it just helps loosen up the soil, allowing your grass roots to grow a little deeper. So you can test the compaction of your soil yourself by just doing the screwdriver trick. You know, just grab a screwdriver, walk around your yard, poke it into the ground, and just see how deep you can get with the screwdriver. You could have gravel underneath your grass. So if you hit something hard, obviously the roots of your grass are not able to grow as deep as they need to have a healthy lawn. The next reason your lawn is not greened up is because you haven't scalped it yet. You haven't mowed it down. So you're still staring at all of that long, dead, dormant grass that you've had all winter long. In the springtime, you really want to scalp your lawn, cut away all of that dead thatch that's been there, and you want to bag it. You want to remove all of the thatch. If you mow your grass with all of that thick dormant grass and you just let it sit there, it's going to create a barrier, not allowing the sunlight to get to the soil, which is the purpose of scalping it in the first place. So go ahead and cut your grass down if you haven't done that yet. That will allow the sunlight to penetrate the soil and warm up that soil temperature faster. So if you just let your grass kind of green up on its own without mowing it, it will eventually green up, but probably not until June. So you really need to remove all of that dormant grass that's there to allow room for new growth. And the last reason your lawn is not greening up is lack of nutrients. So this is that time of year where we haven't quite started fertilizing yet. It's the 1st of April. But one thing you can do is to test the pH of your soil. So this is a soil pH tester. You just stick this in the ground and you give it a couple of minutes for it to settle there. So check the pH of your soil. If it's low, you can add some lime. And what lime does, it raises or stabilizes the pH of the soil. And the reason you want to do that is because the higher your pH is, the better your lawn will take in nutrients like water, fertilizer, things like that. So lime is always good for your yard. And then once the end of April gets here, 1st of May for sure, you can go ahead and put some fertilizer, some granular fertilizer on your yard. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider subscribing. I'm going to put out more videos just like this. And also hit the like button, and that'll help me with the algorithm to send me out to more people. Thanks a lot.